I felt like it was in Hindi you say Maika, in Marathi we call it Mahir. That is your mother's house, especially when you get married. So that's your mother, and that's the most beloved place for any girl. And that's how I look at the Isha Yoga Center. It's my Maika. So each time I'm leaving it, I'm in tears. And
Namaskaram, Akka. Welcome to Oops, I Meditated.
Namaskaram.
How have you been?
I've been good. How have you been?
I've been doing great. Lots going on now these days.
Wonderful.
So, can you tell us a bit about yourself, like before you discovered Isha?
Okay, so I'm an army wife, and I've been working here in Pune in schools as a teacher.
You're an army wife, and you've also been a teacher. So, how did these roles shape your life before coming to Isha? Like shape you as a person?
I've never thought about how they've shaped me, because it's just you just start doing whatever it takes. And I've also been an army child. My father was also in the army, so it just came naturally. And being a teacher is, of course, wonderful. Being with young children is lovely.
All right. So, how did you come across Sadhguru?
Honestly, I don't really remember how I came across Sadhguru. I just remember that in somewhere in 2010 or a little after that, I saw some posters here in Magarpata itself, and I was curious. And then by and by, I eventually did my inner engineering in 2016. But honestly, before I did inner engineering, I did not know much about Sadhguru. I just did it. I don't know how it happened, but yeah.
So, inner engineering was your first program with Isha.
Yes.
How was that experience?
It was really nice, and it made a lot of changes in my life, especially in terms of the energy I had afterwards. And it just made I was teaching at that time, so it just made the whole teaching experience a lot easier, and I felt that I could do more
Can
in the
you
same time.
elaborate how it helped you as a teacher?
I felt I was a little more calmer and more peaceful, and I found it never rattled me if something just suddenly came up, or there were some extra jobs that were to be done. Accepting it and just doing it came very naturally.
So, like, when was the time you were like, okay, maybe Isha is worth exploring?
Um, I think that happened while I was teaching. I had very little time, as in it was a full-time job. Plus, the school I was teaching in was a residential school, so the timings were very long. So I would come back pretty late in the evening. So while I was working, I only did my Shambhavi Mahamudra. It was only after I left my job that I started thinking of doing more of the advanced programs. And
So, recently.
yes.
So, what are the other programs you've attended?
So in 2023, I started doing Bhava Spandana first. Then I did Shoonya Intensive, and then I was lucky enough to go through Samyama in 2024, Jan 24.
Can you talk about them? Because I've heard of them, but I'm not sure if they know about it or. Yeah.
Okay. So inner engineering is the basic program. That's the first step, and then Bhava Spandana is an experiential program. Um, it's just an amazing program, and I wish that everyone has this experience of going through Bhava Spandana. And Shoonya Intensive is what I did after Bhava Spandana. That's again that you learn new practices in Shoonya Intensive. Along with that, I also did some Hatha Yoga programs like Yogasana, Surya Kriya. And then Samyama, of course, is a 8-day silence program that happens at the Isha Yoga Center.
So, these are a lot of practices that you've learned. So, how does your day look like? What time do you get up? Do you do all the practices in the day?
So I think my every day looks different, because you also have other personal commitments that are there. But my practices, I I try to see that they're done in the morning, because I've seen that if we keep them for the evening, then something or the other comes up and it doesn't happen. So I complete my practices in the morning itself.
Been there, seen that in my house. So, what's the most unexpected thing that you noticed once you joined Isha? Like once you became a part of it?
The most unexpected, or the most wonderful thing, I think, was meeting the other volunteers and the other Isha meditators. It always feels like you're meeting someone from the family, and there's just something very nice and
You don't
welcoming
feel
about it.
different.
Yes, you
Yeah.
just feel okay, fine. You just feel one with them, and it's very nice. Yeah.
So, did your experiences at Isha help you handle challenges being an army wife?
Yes, actually, by the time I did Isha, I was more of a civilian because I was already settled in Pune. So I don't know how it would have been if I had done Isha earlier. I'm sure it would have helped. Yes.
Maybe you could think about it and tell us how life would have been if you had discovered Isha before. Like you got to know about it in 2010. What if you had done inner engineering then?
Yeah, and I always feel when I look at all the young people in Isha, and that's the first thought that comes across is, my God, they're so lucky they're doing it so early on in life. I was really late. So that thought always comes to me, that it's so good to see so many young persons doing inner engineering. Yeah,
But I guess जिसका time आना होता है आ जाता है.
definitely, definitely.
So, have you been part of volunteering activities in Isha?
Yes, so I started my volunteering journey in 2021 when Sadhguru was doing the Save Soil movement, and that's when I got into the volunteering. It was more of online volunteering, but it definitely changed something in me. I cannot put it in words, but just talking to people who had done inner engineering, and it was a wonderful experience, and yeah, it is an amazing experience to volunteer in Isha.
So, what would you say to someone who's hesitant to take the first step to discover Isha?
I would say just go for it. It's the best thing you'll do in your life, and you will not regret it.
And how do you think Isha or like Sadhguru would help teenagers these days? Like, what can they benefit?
Having Sadhguru in your life, especially as a teenager, I think would be the most amazing thing, because there would be so much more clarity. There and You have so many questions. He's the right person to go to and can answer all your questions. So I think it's the best thing to do.
What's your favorite time in Isha when you went to the ashram there?
Uh, my The first time I went to the center, Isha Yoga Center in Coimbatore, was in 2018, and what I felt like what I felt was it's a magical place, and secondly, I felt like it was my, in Hindi you say maika, in Marathi we call it mahir. That is your mother's house, especially when you get married. So that's your mother, and that's the most beloved place for any girl. And that's how I look at the Isha Yoga Center. It's my maika, So each time I'm leaving it, I'm in tears, and I even the guards and everybody, I look at them like, okay, I'm leaving. So that's how I look at Isha Yoga Center.
Yeah, I miss going to Isha because it's been a ritual. When did we join? Like, when was the first time we went to Isha? So 18-19 was also the first time for me when I went there. So uske baad se, like we've been there every year.
Okay.
And this is like the first year that I couldn't visit Isha. And I पहले नहीं लगता था कि it had a huge impact on my life कि मैं वहाँ पे जाके yeah, it's just a thing ऐसा था. But now that I haven't gone there this year, I feel the difference कि वहाँ पे जाके it's like, how can I explain it? You get a magic potion to take, like, you have it with you now.
So what's the most favorite thing you do there, or the...
Oh, so I remember one time I went to Isha and I was like young and my cousin was also there. So me, my sister and my cousin, we were all just playing around. I forgot the cottage's name right in front of Diksha Hall ke side mein.
Nadi?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So we were all there and all our parents were sleeping or talking. We don't care about that. So we ran off and we were like looking at this tree. It had ants on it, insects on it, we don't know. And then this Anna came and we were trying to climb it. And then the Anna helped us up on the tree and we were all hanging out on the tree. That's one of my favorite moments there. Like, so all of us, all the three of us are there, and then the Anna's helping us and taking pictures with us.
Yeah.
So that was a very nice moment. And the other things I like to do is after my yoga, I just go to places, random places, and sit there and sketch.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So no one's interrupting me, and I like to do that.
Wonderful. And how do you like the food there?
Oh, I love the food. And I love volunteering.
You love volunteering, yeah.
It's like a ritual between me and my sister. After every dinner, we take the first batch, we have the dinner. And then the other 2-3 batches left, we volunteer
for serving?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
पहले कुछ उठा नहीं पाते थे, छोटे बच्चे थे, तो सिर्फ केला दे सकते थे. Now we can pick up the whole buckets and give them.
That's very nice.
Yes, my mom's asking me to mention I haven't done inner engineering. I am the age to do it, so I'm considering doing it next year, I think. Yeah. So, what's next for your Isha journey?
Next in my Isha journey, just to be committed to my practices and just to involve myself as much as possible in the volunteering.
And like, what's one um, quote or a line that Sadhguru said that has stuck with you, and like you just follow that maybe?
That is being a mother to the world. That's something.
How do you use it in your life? Like, if you could give an example.
I think at my age, I guess it comes very easy. I look at everyone like my own child.
So, is there an experience you'd like to share or a story? Because I love stories about Isha.
Okay, so the most magical moment for me was I was in a place where Sadhguru just walked up to me and he asked me, "How are you?" And it so happened that at that time I was going through a very difficult time in my life. So, kind of, that's just an amazing moment for me.
Were you in Isha Yoga Center or outside of it?
Outside of it, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a new thing for me. I should keep asking other guests on our show if they've ever met or encountered Sadhguru. Thanks for the reminder. And it's like whenever people tell me their encounters with Sadhguru, that keeps on playing in my head the whole day. Ki, oh, that happened. Now I'm dreaming of something. Yeah. Well, so is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Yeah, you've been talking to so many meditators. Anything that has stuck with you?
I haven't talked to. I mean, you mean because of the show or essay?
Because of the show, yeah.
So you're like the first guest on our
Oh, is it?
podcast. Yeah, and this idea came from Manju Akka, but her episode is on Between the Pages.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the only
show.
other volunteer Isha meditator I've talked to.
Okay.
Yeah. But I like it. It's like when I'm on my normal show, it's a little harder and tougher because there's like I have to think more.
Okay.
Even if it's the same thing, I'm talking to guests only. There, it's like a little tougher to talk to the other person. But like somehow here, it doesn't take that much effort. It just happens.
Free flowing.
Yeah.
One. Okay. So what is your other show?
It's called Life Between the Pages. It's
Life Between the Pages. And this is?
Oops, I meditated.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So another thing I wanted to ask you, Aina, is have you done inner engineering?
I haven't done inner engineering yet. I'm still 14. You can do it when you turn 15. Yeah. So maybe I'll do it next year, maybe the year after. I'm not sure. But I have learned other Hatha Yoga practices. So there's Angamardana, and I've done the kids yoga program after turning 7. And I also do Surya Shakti. But I don't do this all in one day. I do Angamardana on the weekends because it takes more time to do that. Surya Shakti, I do it every day in the morning before school. And I also do Isha Kriya from the Sadhguru app, but it's when I remember that I have to do it, and I do it before sleeping.
That's wonderful, Aina. At 14, you're doing so many things. Very inspiring.
You have done so many practices.
So how have you changed? What changes have you found within yourself ever since you did these Hatha Yoga practices?
I was 7 when I started this, so I'm not that aware about the changes. But I do know that it shows when I'm doing my practices faithfully and like actually doing it genuinely. It shows on the court when I'm playing badminton or any other sport. And if I'm not doing it genuinely, it shows on the court again that I'm not doing it properly.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on this show. I had an amazing time and I look forward to shows like this, guys. And yeah, it was fun to hear your experiences.
Thank you so much, Aina. Thank you for calling me. It was wonderful to talk to you.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.